Welcome to Kevjet the podcast, Kellie Loder, Canadian singer-songwriter.
How are you?
I'm good. You're joining us from Nova Scotia.
I am. I'm on the road right now, and yeah, I'm so busy, but I'm so happy to have the time to talk to you,
That's very
especially
nice.
on the across the pond.
It is, I know. And you're headed this way on tour, and we're excited to welcome you. So yeah, I can't wait. We'll get into the tour dates, but yeah, I can't wait to see you over here. It's been a while.
So I've played in London before, but it's always been for like a showcase or like a conference. But this is my first show ever in London. That's like a full,
Exciting.
Insane. Yeah.
So cool. I can't wait to see you. Yeah. It's August 25th, by the way, since we're talking about it. It's August 25th. Come and see Kellie in London, UK.
First full show. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Let's first talk about growing up in Newfoundland, because for anyone who doesn't know anything about Newfoundland who's listening, it's got such its own identity, doesn't it? And tradition and storytelling. And do you think that has kind of shaped your songwriting?
Yeah. I mean, I learned to tell stories from just about everybody in my life growing up. And maybe it's because there was just less to do. So we just got really good at storytelling. Had to entertain ourselves.
What did music give you as a young person that you couldn't find anywhere else?
It gave me therapy. I was a closeted kid when I was growing up. So there was a lot of stuff I was holding on to and in secrecy, and there's a lot to carry. And when I started learning how to play the guitar, I lived for the guitar, and I lived for singing and songwriting, and I'd just sit in my room for hours and hours and hours and play. So I also played a lot of sports, but I feel like music sort of brought me closer to myself in a more spiritual way.
Do you remember the first song you've ever written that you listened back to and you thought, this is more than a hobby. This is a gift I have?
The first song I ever wrote was, I was learning to play the guitar, and my neighbor across the street named Megan, who was a friend of mine, she was 3 years older than me. She wrote a poem, not a song, about my cousin who actually died in a car accident. He was 23 and it really shook up the town. His name was Daryl. And so I wanted to see if I could put music to these words. And so I did. And I was like, am I a songwriter? That was the first thing. So, but I haven't stopped since. So just completely fell in love with it. And now I feel like I write less songs in these last couple of years because I'm so focused on making the ones that I already have written a little better, or like actually get them recorded. Sometimes I'll like straight up refuse to sit down and write a song. I don't know. It's just, it comes to me so naturally. Like I'll be in a grocery store and it'll just like fall into my lap and fall into my head, and I'll have to hum or like sing whatever melody I'm hearing into my phone. Like my voice notes app is just insane, but I always have an idea. I'm never going to run out of ideas as long as I keep all my phones.
Exactly. You mentioned that you were closeted as a kid. Did that have an impact on you as an artist, as getting comfortable on stage in front of people?
I never even thought about that before. Did it have an impact on me getting comfortable?
Did you feel like you had to hide like a part of you at first?
I mean, when I was starting to perform, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. I know what you mean now. I remember like if I wrote a song about a girl, I would always like take away the pronoun when I was explaining the story, or like I would take away the pronoun in the actual lyric, and instead of saying she or her, I would say you. I would always write it about a very specific, like gender neutral character. I can tell you for certain I've never wrote a song with the words he, him in it, unless it was about Jesus, because I grew up in the church. So for a while I was just writing songs for the church, and I have no regrets about that either. Just I feel like I really learned how to play music in church, and I started there and been pretty happy about it ever since. So
when you're traveling, which you do quite often, what part of your hometown do you carry with you in every city you perform in?
What part of my hometown? I guess growing up in a small town, I had to make my own fun a lot. There wasn't a whole lot to do. So I find with every city I go to, no matter where I am, sometimes I'm very remote in the places I go, and I'm, stuck out in the woods or something like that. So I would just just find your own fun and find new friends. I've always found it really hard to, or really easy, sorry. I've always found it really easy to talk to new people, unless I'm like a little bit burned out. But I've always found it easy to get on their level and connect with them. I mean, you're a exhibit A. Like we met and we felt like we knew each other for like a year.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
And we have so many people in common around us in our lives, and it was just easy, which was great.
Yeah. But I think even without that, it was just so easy.
Yeah.
When you meet some people and you're like, oh, we're cut from the same cloth kind of thing. You just sort of get each other on a different level. And
Yeah.
I'm really good at finding those people for myself, especially being a solo artist on the road.
Yeah. Your music can be described Americana, folk, indie pop. Do you enjoy being like a multi-genre, or would you rather be put in one certain?
I mean, I'm just going to do whatever's in here, so whatever is in here comes out in the music, and then that's whatever it is. One of the questions I can't stand getting, and I understand why people need to ask, but they always say, what genre are you? And I'm just like, you should go and listen.
Yeah.
And make your own judgment. And I mean, that's what art is, right?
Yeah. I get that with the podcast. They're like, oh, so what's your podcast about? Like, they want you to fit in a box every time they ask you a question. And my whole theme is, do not put me in a box. I don't live in a box.
Yeah. I love actually responding with what I just said, because then it really like sets it in motion for them. Okay, I will listen.
It's true. It's true.
See what this is about.
Take them on a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Your voice can sound incredibly intimate one moment and absolutely explosive the next. Do you agree with that?
I would say so.
When did you first discover the full power?
Pretty young. I was singing worship music for, years within the church and stuff like that. So I was always a belter, I suppose. But I've really been learning the art of not belting lately. And I'm taking like notes and taking tips from like my peers and on songwriter circles. I see how powerful it is to be quiet. And I have this, this sort of unintentional formula when I write a song where verse, chorus, soft chorus, bridge. No, soft chorus is after the bridge. So verse, chorus, bridge, soft chorus, and then maybe another like stronger chorus, maybe not. So it's just it can be quite dynamic sometimes, and sometimes it can just be like full power, and sometimes it can just be full softness. I have this one tune called So High, and it's just me singing in falsetto the entire time. And my pal Joey, actually he goes by Jackie Loder now. My pal and I, Jackie Loder, wrote this tune, and he kind of coached me to tap into other parts of my voice, and I loved him for that. So I try to incorporate a lot more than just the power notes and things. But
when you write a song that's really personal to yourself and only yourself, is there a point where you decide, okay, it's ready for me to share it with everybody else? Or do you ever write something and think, you know what, I'm keeping this so close to me, I can never sing this in public?
No, I want to share it like literally right after I wrote it, like 15. I'll write a verse and be like, I should share this now. It doesn't even have to be the whole song. I'm the worst for it. And I feel like when my record comes out, people have already heard all the songs live. So there's zero surprises sometimes because I'm just so excited to share. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think that, it speaks to who I am. I can't keep a surprise to save my life. If somebody told me something that they didn't want me to tell anyone else, of course, I'm a vault. But if, I have a surprise that I'm sort of planning for somebody else. No, I just want to see them like light up like right away, and I don't think I've ever, maybe once or twice in my life, kept a surprise. Like if I got someone a gift or something, I wouldn't hint at, like, I'm always like, oh, you're going to love it. And then I'd be like, I'll give you a hint. And like, it's just like this game that I like to play. I don't know. I can't keep a surprise.
That's good to know. It's good to know. Do you have a lyric in one of your songs that catches you every time you sing it live?
Ooh, yes. It's a new song. Can I talk about the new stuff? Or does it have to be like...
No, you can talk about whatever you like. Yeah. No.
I've got this one song called "Shame for Dinner" that's coming out on the next record. And every time I sing it, I feel like it's the most sincere, maybe, or maybe it's the best I've ever been lyrically. I don't know, but there's this one lyric, and it goes, I'll just sing it because I can't really speak it without singing it. It goes, "To love would be so simple if you try to let go of what you think you know and come out the other side. If a crash can be prevented just by keeping to the right, love could be so simple if you try." And so, like, when I sing that live, I could tell just from that first verse, I like got him. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I got you. And then for the rest of the song, they're just like, they're really, really in it. But whenever I sing that first verse, there's something that happens in me that's really sort of powerful. And when I see, everyone has that. Every artist has that thing where like they write out their set list and they can't wait to get to this part of the set, and they can't wait to be done some of the other parts. Do you know what I mean? But there's songs that I literally just sing for them. I'm not singing them for me anymore. I'm just like, oh, gotta do this one again. But I do it because they love it and they're supporting me. So, but yeah, if I was going to pick my favorite, that would be it right now.
Nice. You have an album called Transitions. What was changing in your own life and identity when you were creating that album?
So that album, I didn't just go to a cabin and, write that whole album. That album was a collection of songs that just never had homes anywhere else. Like it was all these songs that I loved, that I had written and that I knew other people loved. And then I was just like, I just need to make an album that has these tunes. And so I wondered if it would take on a theme once I, put it all in the canon. And so put it all in and I was like, wait, there's something here. And it was just a lot of songs about change and transformation and transition. But I didn't get the title for the record until I went for coffee with a couple friends. One of them was my cousin. One of them is one of my best friends. And the cousin was going through a real hard time with a breakup. And my friend responded to her, "I get it. Transitions are hard." And then I was like, oh, that's it. That's the title. Just like sort of popped out, So yeah, called it Transitions. And I love it. Sometimes I wonder if people think it's like about me transitioning or something.
Yeah.
But it kind of is in a way. Like it's.
Did you feel that there was a part of Kellie that you released during that album?
Unintentionally. After it was out, yeah. Because, I spent years hiding who Kellie was and who Kellie is through like changing the pronouns in a song or, like just sort of tiptoeing around actually like how I actually felt. And I feel like I've fully arrived, I suppose, in a way, to being brave enough to create the music I want to create. And it comes and goes in waves, that sort of, should I write about this and sort of feeling. And I was in Toronto not too long ago. And I was on a songwriter circle with Jane Siberry, and she's just such an icon, And I was in a dressing room with her. It was like me and her in one dressing room. I was like, are you kidding me, like right now? And she just asked me like straight up, like, so what's going on in your life? Do you know? Just like, I never met this woman before. And I told her, and I was like, I have such a hesitancy to write about what I want to write about because I'm afraid of it hurting somebody else or hurting. And then she said something so profound, and I wish I could remember it, honestly. I just don't. But it was along the lines of, it was probably 30 minutes after we had our initial conversation. And she was like, just try it. And I was like, what? And she's like, just try writing and standing out there as if nobody else is out there with you and write what you want. And just and see what that does for you, just write ruthlessly, basically.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the sentiment behind it. I just wish I would really remember what she said. Maybe I should call her. But yeah, she was awesome. You could tell she had this extra magic about her.
I love that when you meet people and they live up to your expectations of them.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you when you heard that When It Comes to You reached #1 on CBC?
Where was I?
Do you remember the moment when you were told? Do those things matter to you?
They do matter, yes, but I don't remember where I was. I just don't. I think it depends on, how much I got going on in my personal life and also in my professional life. If there's a lot of spinning plates, I'm just like, may not remember everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's There are key moments that I remember quite vividly. I remember the first time my song was played on the radio, like just a song, not like the song that went number one. I'm talking about like a local radio station played my song.
Yeah.
And it was me and my mom. I think my brother was there, and my grandfather was definitely there. And I think my dad was away working or something. And we were all like gathered around the laptop in my brother's room. I don't know why we were in his room, but it was on his dresser. And we were just like, like just waiting for the local radio station to play my song. God. And I remember that feeling being like, wow, like that just happened. Okay. So what's next?
Well, what's next? Fast forward to like being nominated for a JUNO.
I do remember where I was both times when that happened. I was in a cafeteria at university the first time, and the second time I was in a parkade in Halifax, coming back from a mech store.
When you find that out, does that give you like validation at all? Like, how does it make you feel?
It does give you validation, yes, because so often I have imposter syndrome. Even when I'm the one people show up to see, I'm just like, what? You showed up to see me? Like, I met some people at these festivals over the last few days, and like, yeah, we drove all the way from this place, and I'm like, you're crazy. Like, you're actually batshit crazy. But I'm like, why? Like, I'm like, wow, I guess I have some sort of impact to make people get in their car and come out like that. I went on a tour with Donovan Woods once, and I've been such a Donovan fan for so long. And I've done some tours. I've done, Serena Ryder. I've done Joe Plaskett. Anyway, I was out on the road with Donovan. And my friend Jeremy was with me, and he came along to sort of just help out and lightly tour manage and take some photos and stuff. And he started to make a folder on his phone of all the shit that I would say. And I was in the dressing room and I was getting ready to go on stage, and I was looking at myself and I was like, I look good. And I was like, I'm ready for this. And I just said it out loud as if Jeremy wasn't even there. And I said, is it possible that I'm worthy? And he just busted out. He was like, holy shit. And he wrote it down in his phone. I think that's when he started the folder of shit that Kelly says. And now whenever we're together and something really good happens in our life, he's just like, is it possible that I'm worthy?
I love that.
It's an inside joke now. Yeah, maybe I'll get a t-shirt made for him or something.
Exactly. Do you ever feel like, is there a weight that you feel that you're representing a community?
I mean, there's never a weight. It's actually quite a joy it's a lightness, if anything, to know that, I'm a voice for a lot of people. And a lot of people who, come to my shows are queer and have had similar experiences to me, and they want to see somebody like them do amazing things. It inspires them, I think, to see that. And I'm very honored to be in that position. I am. But there are some humorous parts to that. It's not like I put myself out there as a queer artist, which I am, but I'm an artist first who happens to be a queer person. I want people to see me as an artist first, and because there's so many more parts to me than just being queer.
Is there a difference between the Kelly at home and the Kelly on stage?
I don't know. That's a question for my friends, I think, and my family. My mom did say to me once, "You're not that funny in real life."
Moms are the best critics. I mean,
I know, like they're it's like a backhanded compliment. Like, you were hilarious on stage, but like, I feel like that's a big part of my show is the humor. I love making people laugh, and in between the songs and such. But yeah, I have been told that I show up as the same person everywhere I go, by past partners and stuff like that. And I'm not really much of a chameleon in that way, but I do. When I'm around really successful people in my field, I tend to be like, like it's just like this. I wish it would go away. And then I'll meet some like really famous person and not care at all. Like, it's just like this natural like flow of energy. And I'm just like, what is going on with you? Like, you'll freak out when you're around the local hero, but like, when you're around somebody who's like internationally like a star, you're just like, want to grab a drink or
exactly.
Weird. It's so weird.
When you step off the stage after your show, what do you hope remains with your audience? What do you hope they go home and still feel?
I hope that they want more when they go home. I try to leave them wanting more. I always say, like, no matter who you are, no matter how great you are, no matter how much people love you, you can play a song. You can play a show that's too long. I always say that.
It's so true. It's very true.
Yep, it is. And I try to keep that in mind for sure when I'm doing my shows. But the feeling that I want people to have when they leave and is that like something healed in them, or they heard one song that really resonated. So then now they're going to go home and listen to it a bunch, and that's what you hope for.
Do you have like a moment that stands out, like a performance moment that stands out for you and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened?
Quite recently, actually, I was actually surprised by it. I was at Hillside Festival in Guelph, and I was partway through my set, and people were singing along with the song. And I had this moment where I just cried. Just like, I thought about like little Kelly, back in their bedroom, writing their songs, trying to get through their stuff. And I just wept, man. I was like, I can't believe I'm here. And everybody under this tent right now is just so happy to be here. And they're singing the words to my song. What in the actual hell? And I couldn't. And then everybody in the audience started crying because I was crying. And it was just like this weird exchange of emotion. Like it was pretty wild.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Really cool set. Yeah, that happened.
Amazing. Yeah. I like to finish my conversation with a few quick fire questions.
So I got to answer like really quick, fast?
You don't. Well, yeah, after editing, it works really fast. You don't have to worry before editing. But yeah, it's that's the theory anyway. Okay. First question: sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Screech or tea?
Tea.
Kitchen party or stadium concert?
Stadium concert.
Guitar or piano?
Piano.
Songwriting at midnight or first thing in the morning?
Midnight.
Newfoundland winter or Australian summer?
Newfoundland winter. Most
overused word in Newfoundland?
God. Yes, bye, I guess.
I can't wait for our listeners to hear this around the world and they're going to have to start to look up Newfoundland. Google will have like number one question, where is Newfoundland? Which is the whole point of this conversation. What's a song you wish you had written?
A song I wish I wrote is a new one I just started to listen to. It's called Tied to You by Laurie McKenna, and it features medium build on it. Yeah, it's so good. I'm just like, wish I wrote it. It's just an incredible tune, man. When you know a good song, it's a good song.
Do you have a dream duet partner?
Do I have a dream duet partner? Like if I'm on the spot right now and I'll get off this call and then remember who I want it to be, I think it'd be really cool to do something with Chris Martin. I mean, he's like mega famous, but like, yeah, I listened to a lot of Coldplay growing up. I think it's where a lot of my melodies come from and my sort of the way I build a song and like explodes at the end kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that would be cool. When I was in London for the first time, I was taking a photo outside of the Royal Albert Hall because I was going there to see the choir and the orchestra. And there was this woman in a choir outfit that was coming up the stairs, and I asked her to take my photo, and she did. And then she said, before I go, I want to ask you, are you a Coldplay fan? And I said, I'm a huge Coldplay fan. And she said, well, I'm Chris's mom. I almost died. Yeah. Oh. And then she told me about his new album that's coming out. Still a proud mom, like even if he's like, incredibly, incredibly famous. And so she goes back inside and I have to look this woman up, and it turns out that it's her. Yeah, it's like legit.
Wow. If you weren't making music, what would you be doing?
I think I'd be a gym teacher. Yeah. I love teaching kids things. I love kids. I think they're just the best, and I think they are often misunderstood. And when they're learning different things and they're really happy about it, it's really transformative. But I was a big athlete when I was growing up. So I always said, like, if it wasn't music, it would be sports or it would be some sort of physical thing. Yeah.
Final question I have for you is just to finish the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Kellie Loder is currently transitioning into
Jesus, not Jesus, but that's a fast one. If I asked you that, what would you say?
I would need some time to think about it, but it's a deep question because I think that we all change. We change with the tide, like we really do. You have a new album coming out. Is that going to be showing? Is that a different side to Kellie?
I would say Kellie Loder is transitioning into someone unapologetically true.
Yes, I love that answer. That's great. I can see it in the way that you speak. I mean, well, first of all, if people go to your page, which I'll share You have loads of tour dates. And I said to you at the beginning before we were recording, and I said, holy hell, look at all those tour dates. And you were like, well, really, it's not really that much. It's just the summer. But anyone else who looks at it will think, holy hell, like you're not going to be home very much.
No. And I feel like that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Especially for part of the year.
Well, we can't wait to see you here in London. And thank you for having this conversation. And I know it's actually, it's what, 25 days from now, you'll be playing your own show in London.
It's insane. What? Please come out.
I'll be there, that's for sure. Amazing. Thanks, Kellie.
Thanks.